There was a time where music and gaming made me believe in another world.
What
And
world?
now, I'm just saying, it made me believe in another world. Another world. It doesn't matter what the world was, whether it was Mars, Jupiter. It was just another world. Who the fuck cares? Now, when I listen to the music and gaming, I feel like I'm in a club. Why do I feel like I'm in a fucking club?
Are you playing
No,
Streets of Rage 2?
but see, that was a good game. And that's the difference. That was a good game. It had a variety of music. You know, the music now is just like, all right, it's the average corporate slop. It's what they got on Z100 and everything else. I'm not trying to hear it in my gaming. I'm sorry.
What
I
game
think
is
Grand
doing
Theft
that?
Auto is a lot of them. A lot of them. Or maybe I'm just making up a headcanon, just like the people who are playing Oblivion right now.
I think people are enjoying that.
Are they enjoying it? Or are they just enjoying the new graphics, the
Yeah.
visual ecstasy,
Yeah.
as I've been saying for the past year or two?
Yeah.
Fucking mouth breathers.
Well, I think what you're saying here about entering into another world, like immersing yourself into a new world of a new game. Hey everybody, how's it doing? We're doing the weekly show here again.
Wait, this is the episode? Really? I was just memeing the whole time. Oh god, I was gonna say the other word. Thank
Yeah,
God I didn't.
let's not say any words because the last video we said all the words. So I think we've used our yearly budget of words that we shouldn't be using on recordings. So let's try to keep it PG for this one. If we can, we'll try. But
The intelligent probe cat.
But the whole immersion of getting into a game and like feeling like you're almost like inside of it, that quality that these old games used to have. They used to like suck you in, and like things were like peaceful and calm, and like it wasn't like screaming at you with like a billion pop-ups and notifications and UI elements in every corner of the screen. Now we have these, every game that releases is like unfinished. So on top of like all that noise being blasted in your eyeballs and in your ears, the game is unfinished, and like you can see the seams. You see like you can look behind the magician's curtain, and like, oh look, there's this thing over here. I'm in the void now, walking around this unfinished alpha game that just released.
Oh, the unfinished flop.
And the combos aren't correctly working. The damage isn't correctly scaling. Like, it takes you out of the experience, and then you just feel like a tester, which to some extent, if you're really into something, it's, especially as me being, I'm biased here because I cursed, damn it. I'm biased here because I tinker around and like make little games and stuff. So like that kind of stuff like amuses me. Like, oh, it's cool, like that whole testing aspect, seeing their progression of everything. But for like when I turn my like gamer brain on, like I'm just here to enjoy the thing. It's just not enjoyable.
Listen, man, I'm tired of the hip hop music and my fucking gaming.
Were you back to the music?
Tired of it.
You're back to the music.
All right, let's move along now. I mean, apparently there was an Oblivion drop. It just came out of nowhere. It caught a lot of people out of surprise.
Damn, you just completely derailed everything I was talking about. I was trying to relate.
Did
I was
I?
trying to relate to what you were talking about. I was trying to put it all together in a nice little. Did your brain turn off or something?
No, but what you're saying is not wrong in terms of how people put themselves in certain environments in gaming. I think it's slowly becoming a lost art. And right now, this is why we're seeing so many remasters because people are really scared to think outside the box.
Well,
You know,
they know
and
we yearn for the good old days of like when
yeah,
stuff
the good
was
old.
good, and they don't know how to capture that anymore. So they're just like, well, maybe we'll
Not only
have another company remaster it for us.
not only that, but there's like these other issues where I mean, I know my initial complaint was the music, but like there a lot of these companies are under the impression that if I latch onto this artist, happens to be super popular, who does make these sales, and if I use his music, as not necessarily a selling point, but as a helping factor for my product.
Like a motif for the whole game.
Yeah, like a motif for the game. Like it doesn't really do anything for it. Like right now, one of the big issues is that Travis Scott was a part of the finish for WrestleMania 41. A lot of people are pissed off that he was a part of John Cena's eventually becoming the 17th world champion.
It's
But I'm just
pronounced
like
Jiang Zena.
Young Zeno. Yeah, but like the people are pissed off, but but you gotta understand that the TKA group, are under the impression that if they use this rapper, that they can bring in new fans, fresher fans. Right now, the wrestling base is pretty much just the older fans and their kids. That's it. They want to be able to expand outside of that,
Like
and make even more sales.
the interpretation, like the hand of the artist is gone, and now it's just like, what will people enjoy the most?
Yeah.
And if you do that enough times, it's like, okay, it's getting old.
And it's like, you mean to tell me John Cena couldn't sell the tickets by himself? They had to include Travis Scott. They had to find a way to put him into this equation. Yeah, I mean, he was shoehorned in. Obviously, I mean, he didn't do like the brunt of the work. He wasn't fucking wrestling, but they made him
Whoa,
an
the
important
language,
part
buddy,
of the
with the
storyline.
language.
Oh, good lord!
We gotta keep it
But yeah, they made
PG
him.
for this episode.
Can we? Should
We
we?
have to try, man. We have to try.
Oh, we're done for, bro. I'm convinced we're done for.
this this is their DLC, the DLC arc of our channel. Like the
Oh my
final
god.
episode, we dropped all the bombs, number 60, and now this is just DLC. This is bonus content.
Oh
Oh
man.
man.
I mean, I will say this, ladies and gentlemen. We're living in strange times when DSP has managed to outlive 4chan. I don't know if you guys have been aware of what happened, these past couple of weeks. It's just scary times. That's just
Well,
me.
I read that funny thing recently where it was like it was like a few days before 4chan went down, someone posted it's gonna be crazy when they keep shutting down all these government agencies and 4chan gets shut down.
Yeah, and come to find out that yes, 4chan was in fact receiving money from a lot of these government agencies, and apparently from
Oof.
a certain particular group, our greatest ally. I won't mention who they are, out of fear of being demonetized or maybe killed by the individuals who glow in the dark.
You're getting
But yeah,
crazy. You're getting crazy. Let's go back to games. You're getting crazy now. You think this is episode 60 still? This is 61. This is the DLC. Trying to sell this to a new market. Okay.
where's my Travis Scott collabo, man?
Well, you pulled up this video the other day. What was it? This one?
Yeah.
You want to read that for the people?
So,
Into the mic. Into the mic.
into the microphone, I apologize. So, is the developers not putting on an act, not fitting a mold, but being honest with themselves and articulating their inner world. Soul is honesty. Now, some of you may have questioned why I read that backwards. Why I didn't put soul as honesty first, and then I read the rest of the statement. No, I think they fucked up.
Look, man.
I
This is episode 61. Please. They messed up. You're killing me. You're killing
They
us.
mess,
We're
they
drowning
mess up.
here. We're trying to get we're trying to get Raid Shadow Legends sponsors. We're trying to get better health.
All right, I'm trying here. Listen.
How can we sell out if you keep drinking?
The idea is that as a developer,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
you should be able to take what is around your immediate surroundings as influence for your art direction. Now for some that may sound very strange, but this nigga Pablo Picasso
Oh my
was a
god,
drunk.
dude. You need to, please.
Pablo Picasso was a drunk.
Why would you even say that for Picasso?
But he was. He was a drunk.
He was a
All right?
ninja? Okay.
Yeah, he was a ninja. He was drunk.
Gotcha.
Had created some of the greatest painting.
Mm-hmm.
Why? He was an artist. He grabbed from his very environment. All right? All of them. Van Gogh cut off his ear. He was a little bugged out. You know, he painted that. He had to use that influence. The idea is that as an artist, you should be able to grab, what's around you and be comfortable with it. That's what eventually shows growth.
Well, your
In your art.
experiences shape your life, and they also shape your
Yeah.
interpretation of the world. And if you want to,
Yes.
like, if you make a piece of art, it's your interpretation of whatever it is you're doing.
And as we can see here, this
Painting, a
individual
game.
here, who's a developer, or I believe an artist in Oblivion, he's looking at these different moss textures, and he took this very moment to describe the different aspects of the moss, how the lighting hits it, and you can see different colors outside of it being green. And he was able to use that in the game itself. He was grabbing, from his experiences of being able to walk in the park, or go to these different areas and experience nature. He took that art direction and, he applied it to the game. It's almost like a lost art now. What we're seeing now is that a lot of these
Sorry, no, I
developers
downloaded this pack, and I put
yeah,
it
they
in the
downloaded
game.
this pack, Unreal Engine. It's just all the library assets. They're just using that. And it's a lost art, unfortunately. Like nobody's really going out there. See the
Photogrammetry,
world.
bro. It's a photograph turned into a 3D model.
Terrible, man. And people are just like, yo, what are you shitting on Oblivion? The new Oblivion is awesome. I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm just finding it very interesting that Crobecat, after the presentation that Todd Howard had for Oblivion, not even 2 minutes later, after the presentation ended, he uploaded this video. And I took the time to watch it, and looking at these different, and I looked at these artists. Yeah, they were showing these different storyboards. Look how amazing that was. It's almost as a one form. Can you go back really quick? Like that's very rare. Go back again. Because I want you to look at the storyboarding.
I think these are like. I don't think this is storyboarding. I mean, this is something else.
Oh, they're right there. Yeah, look, yeah, right there. Look how it looks. All right, take a good look at it. Look at the environment. Unpause it.
For those of you just listening, it's a drawing of a like a building, and there's like a tree in the.
Very medieval-like, I want to say. And look, he was able to capture that. Yeah, in the 3D. I want you to go back right there. Yeah. And it's right there in that environment. Yeah, he was able to capture it perfectly. That essence, that feeling. Obviously it's not the exact one-to-one to image, but he was able to expand on that, because mind you, it's a 2D picture, but he was able to make it create even more depth, within this 3D environment. He was able to expand the lore even further. He was able to take that one picture and make 4 different buildings out of it.
But I'm not gonna say
the centerpiece is there.
I'm not gonna say that the new artists aren't capable of stuff like this. Like, it's more nuanced than that. for sure.
A lot of them are too accustomed to using a library, like you said, and I believe that is true.
I don't know if that's the case for Oblivion though. I don't know. I've seen
No,
a
no,
little
no,
bit
no,
of
of
it,
course.
and I've never played these games, so I can't speak on that specifically. Like, if you told me about Demon Souls, I can go on forever, right? Because I've played that game.
Yeah.
But as far as this one goes, like, I'm not too sure. Like, we can entertain the conversation, but as far as, like, I'm not trying to, like, poop on the new game at all right now, because I don't know.
No, of course, yeah. No, no, no. Apparently, the new game, some people are happy, and then that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, some
Not an issue.
people love body type A and body type B.
Oh no, they're pissed about that. And apparently, there was a Nexus mod that you can remove it, and now that Nexus mod
Drama.
has been deleted. Yeah, so
User
that's new
ban.
drama. Yeah,
Banned,
user
banned,
ban.
banned, banned.
Yeah. Oh
Gone
my.
forever. Hey, you remember those markers in high school? They used to sell those to us.
Which one?
The ones on his
The
desk?
deco markers? Oh yeah, I remember those. Yeah, even the pencil.
Godlike.
I
Those are
remember those.
godlike.
Those are the best. Those are the Sakura pencils and the Sakura markers.
Oh, look at this! Look at this drawing. That's a nice drawing.
Hey, look.
It's like a very whimsical, almost stylized. It's interesting. So if I want to do like a devil's advocate, I'll say this looks like doo doo, and the new game is more better because the graphics are amazing. Okay, Unreal Engine, my lighting, my post processing.
I mean, there's some people that have a lot of problems with Unreal Engine 5 in general. In terms of like the rendering, the amount of space that it takes up because of the assets in the library.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of issues. I'm not too knowledgeable in it, but a lot of developers have spoken out about it. Even some in-house developers and some of these bigger gaming companies have even spoken with their frustration about Unreal Engine 5. And I think this is why Capcom took it upon themselves to, I mean, not Capcom, I think Sega took it upon themselves to make their own engine, and so did Capcom also, actually. Yeah, they made their own engine. So yeah, you're seeing a lot of companies now, they're making their in-house engine because they're refusing to use the new Unreal.
If you're like an artist and you're working in any type of field, animation, 3D stuff, whatever, you need to go outside with a camera. Everyone's got a phone in their pocket. Use that, and the camera's pretty good on that phone now. You even got like slow motion capturing you can do on some of these phones. Like you can capture like animals moving around. You can capture like outside environments. If you go on vacation with your family somewhere, like just take pictures, because you might think like, oh, I could just look up that reference online or whatever. A lot of times you're going to have to pay out of pocket for that type of reference, and it's going to be a lot lower quality than the type of stuff you can grab on your phone, unless you decide to dish out a pretty penny for some of these references, especially like animals and stuff, and like just for reference, like
yeah, look at the skeleton, the shoes they would create.
He's like,
yeah, like that's amazing.
Studying the horse here.
Yeah, in terms of how it turns,
riding the horse,
riding it. Yeah. What company do you know is willing to waste resources?
There's companies that do this
like
for
that.
Sure. They don't really talk about it. They don't really talk about it, but they do this. I don't know to what extent, like, and to how much that has changed, perhaps. And maybe you have like developers now, and we have like these people who probably don't belong there. They'll use the money that they have for these types of trips, and instead they'll do like meditation in the park or something. Is
good Lord,
not completely productive,
No, I think they're just using the Unreal library, like whatever Unreal Engine has in their library, they're just making use of that. That's it.
Like that stuff can come in handy. Like let's say you build 90% of a game, and then you get like 10% of the library, and you just kind of fill things in. That's me personally, I don't really have an issue with that. But if your whole game is built off a library, I might notice, and I might get bored of what you've created.
I mean, a lot of these games, like on these web browsers or even on the phone, all used with Unreal assets off the library. Even some of the PlayStation games, you'll see.
But like when they released this game, right? When they released, even now, this new remastered version of the game, like finished product, right? This might be spoilers. Sorry, spoilers for anyone who hasn't played the game. They just showed like some
Who
character design.
cares? Everybody's already played this game. Who cares?
This 38-year-old guy. I don't know how old this is, but this is a comparison video comparing the old game to the new one, to the new remake or whatever. But like when these games released now and then back then, like yeah, they probably had like some DLC and some updates or whatever, probably, but the game was like finished.
Yeah, but I hate that these newer games take such a cinematic approach. And the older games are a little bit more streamlined. You know, a little more straightforward.
Sure, but I just mean like the game is like these games are like not finished, man. Like a lot of the times, like I'm ranting a little bit because I was playing. I've been playing Path of Exile 2 recently. The new patch came out like a while ago, and I stopped playing. I got bored. I stopped playing. But like it just there feels like there's a lot missing. And like why even bother? I get why they released it, because they wanted people to pay money to them so they can continue development, because they were probably like either running out of funds, or like maybe their shareholders, Tencent, were like, hey, what's going on? And they also, you also do need a kick in the rear when you're developing something, and maybe like things have stagnated and your team like isn't as motivated. So maybe you want players to put their hands on it to see what's going on, to give you some feedback. But like these companies don't hire like extensive testers anymore. Like it's all public facing now. Your beta or your alpha of your game. You died on me. You died on me. You died.
Does the game really look better here, ladies and gentlemen? You know,
I think it does.
I
maybe like if I can like aesthetically, I see like some of the green is missing from the lighting here.
My issue is that we're reaching a point in gaming where we're taking all the older classics that we see fit to remaster, and feed to a new audience.
Well, they're feeding to the old audience, I think.
Yeah, and that's the issue. That's the point that I'm trying
to
get. Yeah,
maybe Skyrim enjoyers for sure.
Yeah, we keep making these remasters with the impression that we're gonna sell them to a new audience, and like that's not the fucking case. There's always the same people buying this fucking game. Who the fuck is?
Oh man, you're killing us right now. What? We're gonna need to do speech therapy one day, where I'm gonna smack you over the wrist every time you say a naughty word.
It's not a problem.
You had 3 in like 30 seconds there. I hate to keep bringing it up, but I'll stop bringing it up. I guess I don't know.
No, it's fine. It's that, ladies and gentlemen. The
FCC is down my back. Look at them.
Yeah, they're
trying to take us off the radio.
Yeah, that last episode, they're really pissed with us. All right,
Yeah, our investors reached out. They were like, "Hey, what are you guys doing? You can't talk about this stuff."
We're not going to give you a sponsor for Manscaped. We're not going to give you a sponsor for BetterHelp. We're not going to give you a sponsor for what's the other one? The
McDonald's.
Oh my god, whatever.
But yeah,
why does the older one look better? Can you replay that really quick? Never play all the way. The older one looks better. I don't know why.
It's funnier, and I guess his armor is shinier. I don't know why he'd like turn into a wizard like that. I don't know. What do I know? I don't know anything. We'll probably talk about this more as time goes on. Apparently, they added like a sprint to the game, and I'm sure that has ramifications for the balance. I wonder if they considered that deeply enough.
A sprint?
Yeah.
It
probably feels great to sprint around. Probably feels great, but balance wise, it probably has ramifications for the game. But I guess we'll talk about it as as time progresses, it's probably gonna be relevant. People seem to really enjoy it, so I'm not gonna sit here and say don't buy it or whatever. That's cool.
God.
I think from a marketing perspective, they did a great job. You know, like it seems like they leaked some things about the game, and then they were
But the game's not out. It's just early access.
no, the game's out. It's done. It's
done.
And it has like some DLC added to it from the original game that they made or whatever. From what I understand, I could be wrong. But they like usually when they reveal stuff like this, it's like, oh, it's like coming in 2 years or whatever the hell. No, it's out. It's out. Right when they did their reveal trailer, they're like, okay, it's out right now actually, and then people started downloading it on Steam.
Oh, that's nice of them.
Yeah, I like that marketing strategy a lot more than what we've been getting, you know, especially with something like 2XKO, which we'll get into in a bit. But before we move on to that, I just want to show off this Doom Dark Ages trailer number 2. The game's coming out in a couple weeks, 3 weeks. Let me just watch this real quick for a second.
The Slayer has been activated.
Are you a Doom enjoyer?
Yeah, I mean, Doom is Doom, bro. You can't fuck up Doom. You can't mess it up.
They did at one point, didn't they?
Yeah, at one point, yeah. That's because those developers were mouth breathers.
We brought up the first trailer previously. I thought it looked really interesting. They're like trying new stuff with the aesthetics or whatever.
I can never rule as king, so long as you are the only one they fear.
The Doom guy. There's nothing better than killing a bunch of demons, you know. Okay, also watch a little bit more of this. It definitely has its own feel, right? Like aesthetically, everything's going for it.
I have to ask this question: How many times is the Doom guy gonna go to hell?
Every time.
Is there like an actual storyline? Is this the same Doom guy, or is there another one?
You're asking the wrong guy.
Yeah, that's why. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Uh-oh, Bethesda, they're about to make a lot of money. They're about to make up for all that Starfield that everybody hated. Damn. Let's see what the comments are like real quick. They put a gas pedal on the Cyber Dragon. Sold. Okay.
Did Starfield actually get released?
It did, yeah. That was a while ago. People hated that one.
Oh.
Alright, one guy said, what the... WTF, this isn't Doom. Alright, one person is, seems to be unhappy. A lot of people do seem happy, so I don't know. We'll see. I guess when the game comes out. I wish I had the money to, like, try all these games, but it's... And
it's
time.
On game?
Money and time.
It's on... Wait, I need to understand this. It's on Game Pass, Xbox Series X and S, Steam. I'm guessing that's
another launcher. That's another launcher for Blizzard stuff, and also like
stuff.
Call of Duty. I think because they come Activision.
Yeah, it's Battle.net. I apologize.
Yeah.
Yeah, Battle.net and then PS5. Okay.
There you go. No Switch 2, bros.
No Switch 2, bros.
It's not coming to the next Smash. But yeah, all this talk about alphas and betas for games. I wanted to bring it back because of this.
Darius is pretty good. This character is extremely strong.
This was a tournament called Tampa Never Sleeps from 2 days ago, where they were playing the new version of 2XKO, which is a fighting game that's been in development for like over a decade, and it has
I didn't even watch
10
this.
characters or something. And already the game has costumes and stuff, which for some reason I don't understand why it has costumes in a game that's not even finished.
Yeah, it's not even finished.
Perhaps you should not put a bunch of costumes in a game that's not finished. Maybe you should finish the game. Perhaps.
Maybe you should put your resources in actually making a good game and selling the finished product instead of trying to sell it for free. You know, hoping that people will buy your battle passes.
We've talked about this game a number of times now, and it I don't even remember like necessarily what we talked about when it comes to this game. I mean, it looks. I mean, like on the surface level, I can look at it and be like, that looks cool, I guess.
I have a lot of problems with this fucking game, man.
Let's start. Let's hear them. Let's hear all the problems you have.
I mean, first of all, I'm not too sure what the Cannon Brothers were trying to do with this game. I don't know what their direction was. Let's take a step back. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. The Cannon Brothers were known for the creation of the Evolution Tournament series, and one of the main games that was at the forefront of the Evolution Tournament series was Super Turbo, also known as Street Fighter II Grandmaster Challenge, and Marvel vs. Capcom 2. You know, these are two high-level competitive games, and the Cannon Brothers were heavily influenced by the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 series. You know, they had the game at the forefront of Evolution for quite some time until, you know, the Street Fighter 4 era started, and they felt that it was time that the FGG should move on to a new era, which was the Street Fighter 4 era. You know, and around that time period, they were trying to, I guess, accumulate some type of fund or resources, shaking hands in the back, you know, to eventually be able to make a product that was in the same vein, you know, to the Magic series. You know, I'm going to stop saying Marvel 2 at that point because that's really what it is. It's just the Magic series in terms of the mechanics in the game, you know, and
Can you rattle
these
off some of the Magic series games so people get on an idea?
air combos, you know, super cancels into hyper cancels, you know, infinite combos in general, alpha counters,
Okay.
off the grounds, wall bounces, you know, so forth. Some of the many anime qualities that you know today originally came from the Dogstalker series or the Marvel vs. Capcom series.
Okay.
So the Cannon Brothers, you know, here comes these two mouth breathers, and I'm not mad at them. You know, they're two good guys. You know, wonderful individuals. You know, I'm just I don't think they were aware of the upcoming challenges, especially as developers, trying to mimic certain mechanics or functions.
Oh God!
You know,
Look, this is what I'm
like
talking about. I'm seeing behind the magician's curtain.
what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? What the fuck was that?
We were seeing underneath the stage for whatever reason.
Ah, who cares? Let me finish my rant. This is the issue. The Cannon Brothers got a lot of these fighting game experts in their respective games. I believe it was Clockwork from the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 fame, Apology Man, a couple of other from their other respective games, and a couple of other developers, and these were the main people who were being used to balance this game, you know, and put it, you know, in the direction that it is today. And I don't think there's any real problems with the game itself, but my issue is you know, after 10 years, especially trying to obtain the League of Legends IP, you know, and taking those properties and making them into a fighting game function, you know, like this is it. Not a problem. Not a problem. Not a problem. I don't want to sound salty now. It's just that this is not what they originally promised in terms of a versus game. Now they're trying to present the product as if they're reinventing what a tag fighter is now, and that they're hoping that they'll be at the forefront, you know, and that their product will be the, what is it, the prefaces? I hope I'm saying that. Oh, I'm saying it.
Premier Fighter.
Yeah, or the premier fighter. Yeah, you know.
Did you see that? I pulled it back a few, but there's this thing up here that I guess is like the tag meter, like up here in the top center near the clock. Do you see that? It like recharges after like, how many seconds was that?
Is that the burst mechanic in the game?
No, that seems to be the tag meter. he starts this combo at 96 seconds. And then like 5 seconds after he finishes his combo, it's like pretty much up again. So he does like a this stray random hit. Look at this. And then it's just like, look at the damage on this. And maybe this guy's like low health character, but look, no supers used. A corner carry, like.
And that's another thing. Why are they trying to balance you tagging in and out the match? You should be able to tag in and out freely. You know, that's always been how you play the versus game.
Pretty much free. It's got like a like. I'm sure if that
Yeah,
combo was any longer with like a super or something, like he would have it again already anyway.
Why do I need to wait 3 seconds, you know, before I tag my character out again? You know? You know, for so much for the Cannon Brothers being fans of Marvel too, you know, I can't even do my Magneto tag infinite combo. I'm just saying, you know, they're fans of the game. You would thought they were trying. I don't.
I've said this before, like, I don't know who this game is for, aside from, like, people who already enjoy fighting games, because they're using the League of Legends IP, and these are players that don't play Dota 2 because the stuns are too long, and then you're putting them in a game where the combos are long.
So too long, yeah, and
they don't like losing control of the character. And you put them in this.
I think we spoke about this in previous episodes and off the air, and you told me, like, I mean, like, as you stated before, like, right now, they don't like long combos. So why did the Cannon Brothers, knowing that they wanted to make a Marvel game, or at least something similar in the same vein, use the LOL IP, League of Legends IP, knowing that their fan base don't like long fucking combos? They're not a fan of infinite combos. They don't even like long stun. Why would you create a fighting game using that IP and then ask those players to be a part of this product? They will spit in your face.
If you were to look at like which fighting game resembles League of Legends the most, I will tell you straight up, Smash Brothers.
And you know what's the sad part? The Smash Brothers formula is so simple that it's no wonder that Nintendo patented it, and like all these other companies are struggling trying to make a Smash clone. You know, because they can't do it in the same vein of Smash Brothers. They can't do it. Nintendo
they always try to one up. They always try to one up them, and they try to do stuff like this, where it's like, oh, what we should add combos to the game, or like we should add this, or like they always try to like one up the game, and it just ends up being like a worse product.
Yeah, it's because Sakurai is very intelligent. You know, he's a 33rd degree Mason, by the way.
Like, this looks cool. It looks cool to do this, but like, if you're playing this game, like, do you care? Like, is this interesting at all? Like, okay, I'm in the combo now. Now it's a one-player game. Another issue I have with this game is like, it comes from League of Legends, and when I look at this game, like, besides the characters, I would have no idea this is League of Legends. Like, if you didn't say this was League of Legends to me, I'd be like, what is this? I don't know what this is. It's like some weird anime. It looks dumb. Because there's no towers. There's no minions. Where's the minion control character? That's like a staple of the genre. Minions. There's no one that controls minion. Even the guy with the big shield, he's got like little minions in his cutscenes. There's no minions that he plays with in the game. There's no towers. There's no like weird like mobile mechanics like stun or slows or like things like that. It's like, no, we got combos and it's anime and the guy looks like this. And hey, look, it's that guy from League of Legends you like.
No, it's a flat out fighting game, bro.
And then they put costumes in the game to like
this mix up.
Look, they put all these costumes in the game to just confuse people visually even more. Like, if I never heard of 2XKO, right? And then I like this passed the corner of my eye one day, how am I gonna know that's League of Legends if you have all these costumes on these characters? How am I supposed to know that's supposed to be Darius or that's supposed to be Echo? And it might sound like nitpicking, but I'm trying to look at it from like you have to get an audience for this, because if it's just fighting game players, This League of Legends is the biggest franchise in the world, almost. Probably.
I mean, there are people that are gonna play this game regardless because they want to show good faith. They do have a relationship with the Cannon brothers, and these are your usual streamers.
These are small
or,
numbers, dude. I'm talking about like
those are
global
small
net.
numbers.
I'm talking about globally, dude. Like the FGC is tiny in comparison to like FPS games and MOBA games and stuff like that. Like,
I mean, you do bring up a good point. Let's look at the European market, especially for MOBA and FPSs. You know, same thing for the Asian markets. Are any of those people going to pay attention to this fucking game? Are they actually going to acknowledge it, or is this a game that's being focused strictly for the American market?
like if I were
Because
if I were hired to like do the marketing for this game, I'd be like, you guys did so much damage to this already. Like, it's insane. Like this is like difficulty 10 in terms of like marketing. If you like jump on at this point, you're like, oh no, what did you guys do? Why?
Nah, yeah, I kind of see what you're saying.
And like, look,
that's-
we're seeing behind the curtain again. Beneath
Behind the curtain
stage.
again. Yeah. I mean, you've always mentioned that to me that League of Legends has that worldwide appeal. Like there are people all over the world that
It's
are playing this fucking
huge.
game. Yeah, and it's strange to me that the Cannon brothers, you know, in terms of like their approach for this game is strictly the American market, or at least the American FGC. They aren't reaching out to the other communities, and it's funny because at least with a game like this, ooh, I apologize, I'm gonna sneeze really quick.
I think League of Legends is huge in Korea. I think, yeah, it's huge in Korea. Is
Sorry
anyone
about
from
that.
Korea like saying anything about this game? I don't know.
No, and that's what I wanted to mention because the Cannon brothers were known for taking a grassroots approach, especially for the early tournament days when they were doing Super Turbo and Marvel 2. So it's very strange to me, you know, or I don't know why at least that company thinks that idea is foreign to them, you know, reaching out to these smaller communities and actually showing them a build of this game. You know, work with those TOs, you know, haha. You know, those smaller communities, those people that do the weeklies, you know, or the monthlies, not necessarily the majors, you know, or the world stages, you know, reach out to those people. You know, hey guys, you know, we want to give you this special opportunity to play this game right here. You know, we want to hear feedback, you know, fill out this form, blah, 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 shit like that. Why are they not taking that approach? You would think that they would do that. You know, that was the claim to fame. You know, that was always their approach, you know, grassroots. Why aren't they doing that for this game now? Why is Pokemon on a yacht crying about the working class and all these rich people, and people are forgetting the fact that she's on a fucking yacht? Jesus Christ. What the fuck is wrong with these people?
My heart goes out to the common man. Hold on, let me burn this car, electric vehicle.
What would Babylonia say? Size 4 feet? You know, it's like, what the fuck, man?
Now you confused everybody with that one.
I like to leave cliffhangers, ladies and gentlemen. I like to leave cliffhangers.
That's like a inside joke for nobody. Like if I were to like take over the marketing for this game, it's like all right, difficulty 10 marketing. All right, here we go. And like I also have like some emphasis on the design of the game. All right, here's what you do, guys. Make these combos shorter. Figure out how you're gonna make the damage work so that it's still enjoyable and doesn't feel like a slog fest. Shorten these combos. If you're not gonna shorten them in terms of hits, shorten them in terms of time. Second of all, take this game off the eyes of the public. Just remove it completely. Spend whatever. Spend whatever. No, but I'm saying like for appeal, for like, if you want this game to appeal to League of Legends people, I don't think this is it, dude. Like fighting game players might enjoy this, sure. But is that the only audience that they want for this? Wouldn't you want this to be like as broad appeal as possible? Like the game has the button inputs are special A and special B or whatever.
Listen. why do both characters have separate meters? Why is not a conjoined meter? Why it's not just one meter? Why both characters have a separate meter?
So you can't have a character that builds meter for your other one. That's dumb. We don't like that.
That's that's a way of balancing the fucking game. Yeah, so let me build meter for this one character and then switch out. So when I bring my other character in, I can automatically go to X Factor level 3 and I start off with 3 meters. Yeah, that's real nice and balanced. It's like they don't even take into consideration what they're doing.
Well, I think the game in general is poorly thought out.
And
This
as
is
I
what-
make
this
this
is why-
statement, the meta is being performed right in front of me.
How many like
What are the odds?
how many times are they going to change how this game works in like this open alpha environment? Like when are they going to like finally decide on what their game even is supposed to be? Like, okay, that little interaction there was cute. I like that. He threw the thing back. But like I was saying, like, shorten the combos. You remove this game from the public eye for like, I don't know, 6 months to a year. Just stop talking about it. Stop promoting it. Shut up. Get rid of all these costumes for the time being. Just get rid of them. Just leave them somewhere else. Locked behind whatever wall you need to lock them behind. Show the characters in their default colors. Add a whole bunch of new characters.
What, you can't even access your dead character's meter?
I guess not.
That is so fucking dumb.
Yeah,
That is
people
so
have been
dumb.
saying a lot of the problems with this game. When you lose your character in certain instances, it's like, why? It's like not beneficial to like try to win, apparently. I don't know. I don't know the full details. At some point, I'm going to load this up on my PS5 when they finally decide that it's finished. So that'll be in like 5 years. But then anyway,
If
yeah,
that.
like, and then finally, like, change the name of this game. Like, 2XKO, no. Just call it League of Fighters. That's all you have to do. It was like, oh no, that's too generic. Yeah, that's the point.
At least it's recognizable. Why not use a brand name? You already have a brand
So
name.
stupid, man.
And I think that's why a lot of people aren't able to relate to this game because they don't even know it's a League of Legends product. They just know it says 2XKO. That's it.
It's the dumbest name ever. It's like the name you would give to like an offshoot NBA Street game.
Like, what's the name of the show on Netflix? It's Arcane. Like, that's the name of the character, correct?
No, it's like the name of like I think it's like a lore-wise thing. And then they have another product that I think it's called Legends of Runeterra or something.
Yeah, but it's related to the game. Like, people who are familiar with the product know that they can take this media and relate it to the game. Like,
Yeah, look, Legends
like,
of Runeterra.
you understand what I'm saying? Yeah.
And
Yeah, like,
they use the same font type for League of Legends.
Yeah, they know it's related to the fucking game. Now, look at 2XKO really quick. Let's look up 2XKO.
Look, I typed 2K in the for League of basketball.
It's NBA 2K5. That's right, baby.
Here
Like,
we
does
go.
that
Look,
look like a League of
this
Legends
neon
game?
green logo, like,
Does that look like League of Legends? No, it doesn't.
and then you put the characters in costumes that I'm supposed to recognize that I have no idea. Like, I have no clue. This is like an anime game. Like, this is good. Keep the characters in these costumes when you promote the game. Like, turn these costumes off. I think what they're trying to do is like trick people into thinking there's more characters in this game than there are. I think that's what they're trying to do with these costumes. And people will misinterpret me or like take issue with what I'm saying probably because it's like, oh, we like costumes. Yeah, I like costumes too, but I don't think they should be when you're trying to promote your game like initially. It's just confusing. You want to be able to like hook people in like instantly. Like you snap your fingers.
Everything's custom.
Everything's what?
Everything's custom. My colorway's custom. My personality's custom.
Like
Everything's custom.
imagine selling to you and me, because you and me, we both played Rainbow Six Siege a lot. Like not anymore, obviously, but we used to play it a lot, right? Imagine like you showing that game to me or you in like the game's current state with all the wacky costumes and like teddy bears and all that stuff, like I wouldn't touch it right now. It looks dumb.
Unrecognizable.
I'm not playing that. It looks stupid.
You would hate it. You would hate the games in it.
Like, people are gonna say like, oh, but it took a lot of work to do this. You can't criticize. They worked so hard on this. It's like, yeah, people work hard on stuff that sucks all the time.
People work on good projects all the time and it gets canceled. You know, that's life. I'm not saying that I'm wishing that on them, but
Who's going out there saying I'm gonna make a bad product? Actually,
oh good lord,
very few.
yeah.
And how many of those are successful? You know, The Room.
Yeah, and
You tear me apart, Lisa. He was trying to make something good. That's why it's so bad. It's good. Even that.
Yeah.
You know, people don't generally go into something trying to make it bad. They're trying to make something good here, and they're not succeeding. In my eyes, at least, I think they're floundering with this project.
Well, I'm happy to see that we have a French player and a Canadian player playing this game. I was asking about some international representation, and we do see it here at TNS at the Tampa Never Sleeps tournament.
Look, that was so cool. Look, he like hit him with the bomb or whatever. Where is it? Somewhere. Here we go. He hit him with the time bomb. That is like so visually interesting, and like mechanically probably also. And then look, it's just like combo. You've ruined it. Now all I remember from that interaction is this long ass combo.
And now I hate that little time loop thingy. Because I know once I get hit by that, it could be possibly a touch of death.
It just goes into combo. This is what I do for combo. What do you think about watching this stuff? How do you feel about it?
I tell everyone this. A lot of these games where you perform these touch of death combos and it's not true skill. A lot of these people have mapped their buttons where they can easily perform these high level difficult combos. It's not like the old arcade days where you had the 6-button format and only the 6-button format. You know, it's. But I don't want to sound salty. I don't want to sound like I'm hating on these two players. You know, they are playing at least to the current meta of the game. We can't even say this is high level because it's not. You know, I mean, let's see what Wade is doing here. You know, they're making use of the Echo and the Jinx gameplay style. I guess making use of the meter building. You know, the breaks, the furies. You know, like this. Like people keep saying that they wanted this to be like Ultimate Marvel. This doesn't even look like Ultimate. This looks like Grand Blue Fantasy on crack. And I don't even think.
I'd rather play Marvel, and I hate that game.
And even that's not a good description. You know, because I keep telling everyone, Grand Blue Fantasy is not a good game. If you think that's a good game, you're an idiot.
I really don't like it.
Oh, Street Fighter if it was balanced. Yeah, sure.
Mm. We gotta play this at some point whenever they finish whatever it is they decide is a finished product.
Oh, that combo's pretty cool. I like that one he did for her. That was cute.
Yeah, visually it's interesting, but again, like the initial hit is no longer interesting. All that's interesting is this how much damage I did and what the next situation is.
I hate that they made every game play like Dragon Ball Fighter Z and Marvel Infinite. Like they thought that's the future of tag fighters. I hate it.
Like, man, if I hit you with my close, very slow, heavy punch, and I get a long juggle off of it, cool. If I hit you with my fastest, longest reaching button and it goes into that same combo, that is not interesting. You just turned everything into, like, whatever. Like garbage. Like, who cares?
Oh, that has a ground bounce. That's pretty good. Or an OTG. Nice.
We worked very hard on making sure that you could combo the combos and combo into combos.
Oh, look, I could do 2 of them in one combo.
I'm not trying to hate on everything. There's certain things in here look cool.
There's another thing I'm gonna say, ladies and gentlemen. If you make a tag fighter game and you have to put rounds on it, it's not a good tag fighter game. I'm sorry. All right, I'm gonna make that very fucking clear. All right. If you were in the development, and you guys like listen, to make this game more balanced, we're gonna add rounds. You did the community a disservice. You did the Marvel community a disservice. You know, you did all the tag fighters a disservice, even the anime ones. You know, the good ones. You did them a disservice. All right.
How long is this video gonna? What is this?
Play it, play it. I want to fucking see what the fuck.
That whole sequence was 11 seconds.
If I have 11 seconds to take a drink of water.
Yeah, call your mom
When I
for
see-
11 seconds. It's insane, dude. Like, imagine playing this game 500 hours, and every round you have to watch some 11-second interaction.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Like, come on, dude. That's fine. That's fine. Close-up animation, there's a swing around, it's like a second or two. That's cool.
Yeah.
He's doing like a whole anime video, like, oh, look at this. This is like the anime, dude. It's frustrating, you know, because we want good stuff. Especially from fighting games. Like, we're so desperate to have something that's good. And it's like, no, you don't get anything.
Here comes the Cannon Brothers, who are, you know, under the impression that they've made the game that could possibly rival the Marvel products. And I don't believe so at all. I think they took cues from certain modern products. I'm
Yeah.
gonna say they took cues from DNF Fighter. They took cues from Blaze Blue. They took cues from
Time
Grand Blue
Out.
Fantasy Versus. Yeah, I'm not surprised it's a timeout. You know, how many of those other games get timeout? There's more timeouts in Grand Blue Fantasy Versus than any of those other games.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, come on. Well, we still didn't get a reset. That wasn't a reset,
Reset for what?
bro. We saw like 4 different fucking matches. I could have sworn that was a reset by now.
Listen, it's got rounds. This is grand finals, man. It lasts 45 minutes.
Boring.
45 minutes. You don't like grand finals that are 45 minutes long? It's 1-0, okay? It's 1-0, dude. Relax, all right?
What the fuck am I watching?
You could play like 2 League of Legends matches in that time.
Yeah,
you probably have a better time.
it's terrible. What are the comments saying?
4 hours, dog. This one says might as well list the whole roster in the title.
Oh shit!
The
Oh,
final
shit.
game will definitely make devs rethink how the timer works. At least pause it for super animations. It's so disorienting with the handshake tags. The other characters linger on the screen for so bloody long. Maybe it's clearer when you play, but to spectate, it's just chaos. Chaos oftentimes. Or the camera lingering.
Needs to be a lot of complaints.
4 hours looking like the new Sparking Zero I see. Oh crap.
Oh shit! Wow, yeah. Oof, that's not a good compliment.
This guy says 2xTO. I guess that's timeout. The first match gave me hope. The fact that you can just Goomba stomp people when you are better is good to see.
Oh, that's cool.
Whatever happened to the 2-hit combo, the 3-hit combo? We don't have that anymore. Every combo has to be 90 hits.
Yeah, it doesn't exist anymore, right? What happened to a simple 3-hit combo, a simple 4-hit combo that you can extend? Yeah, it doesn't exist no more. Now everything's a 10-hit, 15-hit combo and shit. I gotta learn this whole fucking string. I gotta learn this whole telephone number.
My EX drive rush cancel.
Yeah.
Into super tag, into tag cancel, cancel tag, jump juggle, ground bounce. You know what this looks like? And not to poop on indie developers, but a lot of indie developers do this when they're like, oh, I want to make the next Marvel, and they make like a mock-up game of like what they're gonna do, and then every time they have like these insanely long combos, and it's like, oh, look what you could do. You could do this juggle into this ground bounce into this wall. And it just becomes like Dragon Ball Fighter Z at that point, where it's just like, and like for Dragon Ball Fighter Z, it's interesting, because Dragon Ball Z is ridiculous. We all know it's ridiculous, so it's like it's in that vein of just like, yeah, we know it's insane, so we're just gonna go all in on this insanity. And from that perspective, you're getting the expectation of the audience involved and stuff. And like it's the opposite here, because like I said, like League of Legends is not like people don't like being caught in like long stuns. Like, that's why they don't play Dota 2. It's like the main reason I've heard for like over 15 years. Is like every time I invite some League of Legends player to like play Dota with me, they're like, man, why is that stun 2 seconds? Because they're so used to stuns being like half a second, 1 second maybe. Or like, why does that slow so strong? Why can't I flash out from this? Like, this game would make a lot more sense if it was more like what's it called? The new Killer Instinct, where you can break the combos.
Oh, okay.
Like that would make more sense, because in League of Legends you get there's a lot of escaping in that game. There's a lot of like getting away and like baiting the enemy to like get away, so you can like use a thing on them to grab them again, like stuff like that. Like there's none of that in this. It's like, oh, I do the combo, I knock you down, and then we get to the next situation. My impressions: no mix-up, only grab, backdash simulator, throw assist. If you do something type of neutral, turtle in game, timeout the game. They'll never figure out the game like this, bro. If they shorten the combos, they gotta raise the damage. Most rounds end on timeout.
I don't sound too happy, funny enough. That's weird, because usually the TNS community is pretty. Let me take a step. The TNS community, the Tampa Never Sleep community, they're pretty positive, to be quite honest. So the fact that they're being vocal here and saying like, yeah, there's a couple of issues. Like the Cannon Brothers need to listen, okay? Because like this is a close knit community, and
Yeah.
I've been very vocal about this, off air. With these dudes. Yeah, this is a very close-knit community, so they need to pay attention to what these dudes are fucking saying, okay?
This person says, horrible game to watch, too busy, animations are not refined. And then this person says, gosh, I dislike tag games. Which is another thing that I didn't even think about until I read this. Which is like, you're only trying to appeal to fighting game fans with this, right? Well, how many fighting game fans actually even enjoy tag games? Like, that's a whole other ripple of...
Yeah. A lot of fighting game
Oh
players,
my
they hate tank
god.
fighters.
Who's this?
Do you
Who's
know
the
how many?
audience? Who's the audience? Please
Do
tell
you know
me.
how many in all honesty, do you know how many Street Fighter players actually hate Marvel? Like they respect it as a spectator game, watching it, but to play it, no, they fucking hate it, bro. So yeah, like you said, who is this game for? As a person who plays League of Legends, I'm not a League of Legends player, but I'm just saying, as a
I played
person
a
who
little
plays
bit,
League of Legends,
like maybe 50 hours.
is this product for you? You know, is this a game that you can see yourself playing? Is this a game where you're just like, oh, I'm invested enough where I want to move on from using maybe a keyboard. Maybe I want to buy a controller. Maybe I want to buy an arcade and actually learn how to play this game. You know, as you as a League of Legends player, are you going to be invested enough to learn this fucking game?
I
I
have
don't think so.
friends and family who are obsessed with League of Legends. They still play, and they never bring this game up. In fact, the times that I've mentioned it, they're like, didn't that game come out already?
Oh shit.
And that was like 5 years ago.
That's not good. That's not good.
No, it's not good.
No. Ooh.
The only way they're going to get League of Legends players to play this game is if you have to play this game to unlock skins in League of Legends. Play 2xk now to get this Darius skin in League of Legends. So the log on for 10 minutes, play a ranked match, and then log off.
That sounds terrible. And I wouldn't even do that.
Oh yeah, this is another thing. Where is it? I guess we'll pull up the short. Sorry, folks. Here's the 2xko lobby. This is what they're spending time on instead of working on the game. Did I lose you?
You don't think the lobby's cute?
I think it's cute. I think they should probably work on the game instead of this. Apparently, it's just like Strive, which is the most hated lobby system universally of all time.
Oh, good lord.
Where it's like, you can only match with people that are in the lobby with you. You can't match with anyone else. It's like, hey, we figured out how rank systems, how to make them good. Yeah, F that. We're gonna do it this way.
You think they'll fix it in the future?
How much dev time and money was spent on this?
Too many. Too much. Way too much resources was spent making this fucking game.
Well, this lobby system specifically. Look, all these characters have different clothing.
I think it's time to pack it up. It's time to pack it up. I mean, we're honest. It's time to pack it up.
They have a long checklist of things that other AAA fighting games are doing, and they're like, let's check every box we possibly can to try and get everyone involved, right?
And not do it.
When you make a game for everyone, you end up making a game for no one. I'll leave it there. I don't know. You got any last words for the nice folks who have hopefully the algorithm treats us well this time?
I mean, concerning 2xko, listen, don't mind us. We have a very harsh opinion because for one, I play Marvel 2 to a somewhat high level. My partner here plays Third Strike at a very high level. You know, he plays some of your favorite names. You know, I mean, of course, yeah, he likes to pretend like, you know, whatever. But he plays some of the top names in Fightcades, and you can look at the replays. You know,
but Fightcade is like Fightcade is like the whoever's of the West. It's like, who cares?
Yeah, but that's the problem. It's a bunch of bums. It's a bunch of bums that try to present themselves as if they're the best, and the fact that you're busting their ass.
I'm S rank. Oh, look at me.
Yeah, so that's why it makes me. That's why I gotta let the audience know. You know, like you know, look at those replays. You might see somebody's name. You know, that sounds like a comedian. You know, you'll know.
You're giving out too much info. Gotta stay incognito with my C rank, so no one knows who I am.
All right. But listen, the guys on 5K to trash. These people right here, me and my co-host here, we're both trash. Don't listen to our opinion. If you find the game 2XKO enjoyable, play the game.
I'm just
Do the
trying to
game.
look at it more from like the marketing perspective and
No, of course.
like I want to know who the
And
audience is and like dude, if
that's what I was
if
gonna mention.
I'm wrong about everything, that's wonderful. Because the fighting game community has a new game to play.
Yeah. But that's what I was gonna mention. Like, listen, do the service in terms of promoting the game. Reach out to the people at your locals. Whether it's the weekly, the monthlies, whatever. Tell them, listen, we want to play 2XKO. We have a community here, or a group of people here, friends, whoever it may be. Play the game. Reach out to the Cannon brothers. Let them know what you're doing. Try to push the game as far as you can. Try to be the ones at the forefront to eventually make the, was it the 2XKO Cup, or the Riot Cup, for the fighting game. Be that person, because that's what they ultimately want, ideally. So, this is your opportunity now. The game is here. Whether it's the alpha, whether you have the game through legal means, illegal means, put the game out there. Let the people know, it's here to play. Take it to your local colleges, your local high schools, wherever the fuck. Take it to your
Your
local
Brazilian
Pizza Hut.
favelas.
Yeah, your Brazilian favelas, Take it to the hood, put it right there in the benches, let them play it. Fuck it. You know? And now is the time to promote the game. This game has been in development for how many years? 10 years. This is all they came up with. My God. All right. Like, they need to recuperate sales now.
People have graduated from 2 schools during this
Yeah,
game's
people have
development.
graduated from 2 schools. I need to make the sales now. Like, all right. The Cannon brothers, they don't even have hair anymore. They lost their hair. Clockwork
They
has
went in
lost
as
his hair.
brothers and
Clockwork
they're
is
leaving
bald
as
now.
grandpas.
Yeah, they went. Good lord.
Alright, let's leave it there before we rant more. If you like the game, thumbs up. Hopefully it's good. Right now, not too sure. GG's everybody. Thanks for watching.